Hello, welcome to another episode of Full Moon with UMI. This is the first full moon of 2020. This full moon is in Cancer. Right now, you might be feeling a bit sensitive. A lot of emotions might be coming up within you, but I want to remind you that it's only the moon. You're not crazy. It's okay. Be very kind and gentle with yourself as we go through this full moon. Full moon in Cancer. Cancer is a very emotive but intuitive sign. So through your emotions, your intuition is speaking to you. So take time to listen. And on the topic of intuition, I wanted to make this first full moon of the year to be about intuition, because I think intuition is so deeply tied with your personal happiness, your personal freedom, your ability to live your freest, best life. So I want to share to you what I've learned about trusting my intuition. So let me begin first off by explaining what is intuition. Intuition is also known as your inner voice. You can call it your gut feeling. You can call it that sense of knowing that you have. But regardless, your intuition is really the essence of you, the voice within you that is trying to speak through you, that hasn't been tainted and affected by social conditioning, by different things and traumas that may have happened in your childhood. Because what tends to happen is we think that we don't have an inner voice, we think that we don't have an intuition guiding us, but it's only because that voice within you has been silenced, because maybe your parents, your caregivers, your teachers put you down, didn't encourage you to listen to yourself, got angry at you. Maybe that happened in a relationship. Regardless, us as humans, it's just a natural part of our human existence to have that inner voice be a bit silenced, but a part of our conscious evolution is to reconnect with our intuition and reconnect with our higher self, which is always trying to speak to you. So my higher self wants to say to you that you are not an indecisive person. This is something I had to learn for myself. I'm not indecisive. Actually, I'm very decisive. I know exactly what I want. It's just I haven't been trained to listen to it that well. So 2019 for me was a year of listening to my intuition, and I want 2020 for you to be that year for you, so you can better hear what your true self is trying to speak to you. And that's also one of my goals for 2020. So what a great way to start the year. And a last note on the topic of what is intuition. I always say my intuition is also my ancestors speaking through me, encouraging me, pushing me forward, because we are all just a reflection of generational trauma within our families. And I have this inner knowing that my family and my ancestors want me to break loose from that chain of trauma, and the way to do that is for me to live my best life. And so they're trying to push me to live my best life. So whenever I get a gut feeling about something, I trust it, because I know it's helping me to break away those chains and to then free my family and free my ancestors who are watching over me. So if that resonates with you, I hope you can take that with you. So let's go into how to listen to your intuition. And my higher self, before I go into it, wants me to tell you that sometimes listening to your intuition feels counterintuitive. Sometimes that gut feeling feels like, why am I having this feeling? But it's because change is hard, change is different, and so change feels weird. But listen to it, because something great lies on the other side of fear, something great lies on the other side of change. And trust me, your gut feeling is not going to stop nagging at you. And I feel like we've all had that moment where you had that thing nag at you over and over again until you listen to it. So now let's go into how to listen to your intuition. So my first tip for ways to bring back a louder voice to your inner voice, to hear your inner voice more loudly, is to meditate more. And meditate with the intention to place space on the internal, to give space to the voice within you. So what I would do is I would sit somewhere like this in nature or in the comfort of your home, wherever you are. Take some Palo Santo, some sage, some whatever, cleanse the space. If you don't have that, you can light a candle. You can just make your space feel clean, fresh, and sit with yourself and start to ask yourself questions. So you could ask yourself, who am I? What do I like? How do I feel today? And the first voice that comes to mind, that's your inner self speaking to you. That's the voice that was able to cut through before the social conditioning changed up what you were trying to say. Does that make sense? And if you have a decision you're trying to make that seems difficult, difficult, just sit with it and ask yourself, what decision should I make? Like, should I break up with this person? Should I quit my job? Should I date this person? Should I go to this event? Whatever. Ask yourself, and the first thing that comes to mind is your higher self speaking to you. Let it come easy. It's not all that difficult. You don't got to put that much thought into it. It's very simple. So take some time to do that and be patient with it, because the first time you do it, it might not be like instant. You might not feel that connection immediately, but that's because for however long you've been alive, you've been discouraged to hear that inner voice. So give it a little time, love yourself, and let your inner self kind of get out of its shell so you can hear it more clearly. So tip 2 is to go on an adventure. I love adventures. You can go anywhere. You can go to the park, you can go downtown, you can take a walk around the neighborhood, go on a road trip, buy a ticket, go on a flight somewhere. But I recommend doing this by yourself, and go on this adventure with no agenda in mind. No specific, like, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here. No, just go. And allow your intuition to guide you. So if your intuition says, I'm gonna turn on this corner, turn on that corner. If your intuition says, I wanna stop right there and walk into that store, I wanna sit by that tree for a second, do it. If your intuition says, I wanna drive somewhere else, go drive somewhere else. Whatever it is, trust that just childlike voice that comes through within you. And by the end of the day, you're gonna realize a lot of cool coincidences are gonna happen. Like, a lot of just cool experiences are gonna happen. You might run into somebody, you might meet somebody new, but your energy is drawing you to that place. Your intuition is drawing you to that place. Allow it to, listen to it. And when you do something fun like this, it helps to encourage you to listen to yourself and trust yourself more. So that's really fun. My most recent adventure was to Amsterdam. I literally had no agenda in mind, and I had the craziest time, met so many cool people, and now I trust myself a little bit more through that experience. So that's tip number 2. And finally, my third and final tip is to create. Be creative. Allow yourself to express creatively, but again, with no agenda in mind. So what I mean by this is try free painting, free drawing, free writing. So all these exercises, what you do, let's say, we're talking about free writing. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, a pencil, whatever, and just write with no thought in mind. Don't write with a topic in mind. Just let whatever flow through you, and don't judge yourself as you write it. If you want to free paint or free draw, just get a canvas, get some paint, and paint with nothing in mind, just paint. That's why I love to paint abstract art. That's been my thing recently, because it just feels so expressive. And by the end, I'm like, oh my God, this is what my higher self was trying to communicate to me. And as you do these things, especially when you're painting, do not get stuck on, oh my God, I made a mistake. Like, let's say you're painting and you feel like you drew this line too long, or you chose the wrong color. That's the way it was meant to be. Your intuition knew that's the way it was meant to be. Your egoic mind didn't know that was the way it was meant to be. So stop getting stuck in beating yourself up. Don't be mad. Just be like, oh, cool. Okay, let's flow with this. Let's go with this. And as you practice that little by little creatively, it gets easier to do it in a professional sense. It gets easier to do it when you're making big decisions with your family, with people you hang out with. So that's tip number 3. And side note, even dance, freestyle dance with no intent. I love to dance every morning. Every morning I try to dance to a song, so dance, yes. Just some closing remarks. Remember, as you listen to your intuition, be childlike, because when you were a child, you were so tapped into your intuition because society was not all up in your head. So return to that place. Some kids right here were just like climbing up this mountain a few seconds ago, and that just reminded me to tell you to be childlike, because they were having a fun ass time over there. And 2, love yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you listen. Allow your voice to come out slowly out of its shell, because you've abused yourself for a little bit. You've been mean to yourself, and that's why that inner voice is shy, but that's okay. Give it time. Give it a couple weeks, a month, a year, however long. It's your journey. And finally, no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Let it be simple. Let it come simple. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before I go, my intuition told me to pull some cards for you, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little reading for you to give you guidance for 2020 for the month until the next full moon. So yes. So I pulled 3 decks for you. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Take 3 deep breaths. look at the 3 cards and just choose one that resonates with you. So let's begin with pile 1. Those of you who pick pile 1, you pick the one with an amethyst crystal. Amethyst is great for protection and also psychic connection. Let's get into your cards. Your tarot card is 2 of discs, and then your ask your guides oracle card. So this is like your higher self, your spirit guide speaking to you. Have the Holy Spirit, interesting. And then 2 butterfly cards, which symbolize change. You have realization and epiphanies, and religion and spirituality. So let's get into it. Oh, 2 of discs. So if you look at the card, you can see it's a pregnant lady holding 2 twins. So the point of the 2 of discs cards says that you might feel like your hands are full maybe as you're entering 2020. You're juggling a lot. Because of the other cards you pulled, I feel like right now you're juggling a lot of internal growth and external growth at the same time. A lot of things changing in the physical and the within. But your spirit guides, your higher self wants to let you know that the Holy Spirit, whenever I see the Holy Spirit, to me it's just like divinity is speaking through you right now. So I would actually focus your attention on your inner self. Take a moment to take a step back from a lot of the things that are happening outside of you and really focus on meditating, on journaling, on listening to your intuition and listening to your higher voice, because you're getting a lot of realizations and epiphanies right now, and you're gonna be going through a lot of religious and or spiritual growth. So allow that growth to happen, because as you connect with your higher self, decisions you have to make on things outside of you, whether that's a professional life, a relationship, whatever it is, it's gonna come to you more clearly. So if you feel a bit stuck, a bit confused, it's only because you need to go within right now. So those with pile 1, that is what intuition is telling me to tell you. Those of you who pick pile 2, you pick the one with the rose quartz. The rose quartz is great for self-love. It invites love and abundance into your life. A great crystal. And your tarot card is 8 of Wands. Your ask your guides, your spirit guides. Ooh, want to say healer. You have a healer guide coming to you. You might be going through a loss right now. We'll get into it. And your butterfly change card says relationship dynamics might be switching. Interesting. So let's begin with the 8 of Wands. So as you can see, there's a bunch of arrows being moved in one direction. So whenever I pull the 8 of Wands, it means to me that there's a sudden direction, a sudden shift that's about to happen. Whether you're going to pick up a phone call and something big might happen, a big shift might happen, a decision. Because like you got the rose quartz, I think it's a decision on a relationship. Like something sudden might come to you. Maybe you watched this video and you had an epiphany about something. It could be both friendship, family, anything. But it just means you might feel a bit of impulsiveness right now, and that's okay. The 8 of Wands is telling me it's okay. You're gonna be going through a shift. That's what I keep hearing, a shift. But do not worry. This shift might feel like a loss. It might feel really hard, really dark blue for you. But your healers, your guides, your angels are with you. They want me to let you know that everything is gonna be okay. Lean into that impulsivity, lean into that intuitive knowing that you might have about something, because you're being guided and you're gonna be okay. And on top of that, you got the relationship dynamic card as your butterfly shifting card. So I think you're going through a shift in dynamics within a relationship, but what a great time to be going through that, entering 2020 with a lot of change. To me, that's a great time to be changing. So in general, you're gonna be okay. You might feel like, oh my God, why is my 2020 starting off with a loss? It's all good, it's for your higher good. So that is for those who pick pile 2. And finally, we have pile 3. Those of you who pick pile 3, you pick the yellow calcite, which is a stone for inviting happy energy, abundance. It's just like the color yellow. Everything that has to do with yellow is the energy of this crystal. Let's get into your cards. Ooh, you have the Ace of Cups as your tarot card. And my intuition told me to pick 3 messages from your higher self, from your guides. So you have the Judgment higher self card. That's crazy. Psychic awareness, divine soul, epiphanies from your higher self. And ooh, some body changes. Interesting. We're gonna start with Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups means to me that you probably went through a lot at the end of 2019 and you're in a really good place right now. Finally, that's what it feels like. You're like, oh, I feel really happy, I feel really good right now. So lean into it is what all these other cards are telling me. My higher self is telling me to tell you, meditate right now, listen to your intuition, really do a lot of free writing. Just let it flow to you, because first off, something is trying to communicate to you, which is why 3 cards fell out of my hands and I was trying to pull these. You're gonna have a lot of psychic awarenesses, a lot of coincidences might be happening. You might start seeing a lot of angel numbers, butterflies. It's because you're in a really good place right here, right now. So lean into it. You're probably gonna have some really cool epiphanies this month. But all of this is gonna come to you when you take time to listen to yourself and to be kind and gentle with yourself, especially on this full moon in Cancer and you got an Ace of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of emotion happening. And finally, we pulled the body changes card for the change card. So what this means to me is maybe make some changes on your health and your diet. Eat better, fill yourself with nourishing foods. This might be a good time to consider going vegetarian, going pescatarian, going vegan for even just a month, because as your body is healthier and your body is clearer, messages start flowing to you more easily. There's not so much blockage in what you're eating. So that's what this is telling me. Maybe go for a jog, go out into nature, but do this with love. You're not trying to lose weight. You're not trying to fit some kind of body norm. It's really only so you can feel your best within, so that the messages flow to you more easily. And you got the yellow calcite, so it's very exciting. I think a lot of cool insight is gonna be flowing your way. A lot of cool people. You're gonna meet a lot of cool people. So those are your readings for the month. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna start doing readings at the end of every full moon video. But I love you, I'm proud of you, you're doing great. 2020 is looking amazing for you. Listen to your intuition and let your inner voice guide you. I believe in you.